Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 18 of All the Mods 3 Expert Mode. Last episode when we left off, our pink slime was being produced and now it's done. Nice. So, let's see, where were we? We were in the process of making the laser base and the laser drill, right? I think our empowered diamantine should also be done. The beauty of taking time off between episodes is that you can batch some production and they're done when you come back. It's as if they didn't take any time at all. All right, so to use the laser drill, we need 1 laser base and 4 laser drills. Which takes a bit more redstone, I guess. Is it empowered? It is. All right, well, I guess we got to do a few more things on the empower. 1 second. A couple of times now, I've run into the problem of running out of mushrooms. And in fact, right now, I'm on my last 2. They're used in Empower Restonia. So don't want to use them all because I need a mushroom to grow mushrooms. Looks like I need some water too and a mushroom. So this spores recreator can clone, I assume, both types of mushroom. Both reds and browns. Let's give it some water. I'm going to try to use a sink to supply it with water. It looks like it's able to provide water. So if there's water in the sink, that means it acts as an infinite water source for recipes. If there's a fish in the sink, it means the water can be extracted. Not quite sure why a fish is used to represent that, but it looks like it even moves items from one slot to the other. All right, well, it's a little slow. I'm gonna make some speed upgrades for it, but I guess it just takes 1 mushroom and turns it into 2. Simple enough. Behold the power of upgrades. I assume now it takes... Okay, so it's just as efficient as before, but it's faster. And in fact, it's so fast that my water pump is now not fast enough. Whatever. I don't need a tremendous amount of mushrooms. I just need more than the 2 I had before. Anyways, back to empowering stuff. Alrighty. 4 laser drills and a laser base. So the way these work is that you have to build the laser base. Let's see. You build the laser base in the center and you point the laser drills at it, I believe. And you use laser lenses to choose which, like to specify which materials you get, I guess, which ores you get more of. I noticed something in JEI. It says, so I think this, as long as you don't build it in the blacklisted biome, you get these like various resources. Some of these, is there any reason to, I guess if you want the ender ores, you have to build it in the end. I suppose it works the same for the nether ores. Yeah, you have to build it in the nether. As for the Y level, I assume that means you have to build the machine, build the laser drill between these Y levels to get these resources. I think it has to have clear sight to bedrock or the void. So we'll build it, over bedrock. Yeah, and as for Y level, I don't know. I mean, I guess I want rock crystal ore, so I'll build it near the ground. The Y level 10, is there anything that I don't get for building low? I can build below 5 if I don't want coal, but I do want coal and iron. So I guess I'll build it. You get lapis or... yeah, whatever. I'll build it at Y level 10. Upon reading more on the wiki for Industrial Foregoing, the Y level is actually a value you specify in the UI, so you can build it wherever. In that case, I'm going to build it here in the base, because that's where my power is. You want to point like the circle side towards the circle side of the laser base. When you rotate it into the right position, it'll show you. So this is where you set the Y level. I think I decided I wanted like 10 or whatever. You can put any number of laser lenses in here, and now it produces 1 item each time this work buffer fills up. It produces 1 unit of work each time this energy buffer fills up. Of course, it works faster if you plug them all in, so let's do that really quick. Hey, go away. All right, so now we should see, yeah, it's going up faster. Let's see how long. So each laser drill takes 100 RF a tick, and every second and a half they produce 1% work. So takes for 25 times a second and a half, about like every 37 and a half seconds, we get one piece of ore. It's not a great rate, but it's also only taking 400 RF a tick to do it. So I suppose it's, about what you expect. And would you look at that, our first piece of ore. It's redstone ore too. Let me see if I can put upgrades in these to make it faster. All right, with all 4 upgrades, so energy 1 and 2, speed 1 and 2, it uses 225 RF a tick and produces work every 11 ticks. So it's like almost 3 times as fast. I think it actually makes it more energy efficient, right? This is what, 3000 RF for one operation. This is 26. So yeah. So I guess I'm gonna have to make 4 sets of upgrades, but I mean, they're not expensive. It's a fair number of diamonds, but I have, no diamonds left. I have enough diamond ore. All our drills now have their speed upgrades, so they're working faster. You can see that the work bar here is filling up significantly faster. And I think I was wrong about the laser needing to see bedrock. That must be a feature of the old laser drill from Mine Factory Reloaded. Anyways, now we're getting various ores. So for now, I think I'll want to, pipe these into some type of drawer system for storage, and eventually we'll want to set up a system to process them. I didn't expect to get lapis at 8. Didn't lapis explicitly say min y is 13? 8 is less than 13, right? Oh, never mind. I see. You get it at weight 14 between 13 and 34. You get it at weight 2 everywhere else. Okay. All right, here we have it. A rather slow but entirely automated way of producing ores. And as we get the first piece of, each ore type, I'll have to manually add it to the wall. But in the time I spent setting this up, we got 14 redstone ore and 7 iron ore. In fact, I am just out of redstone, so let's mine this. Aha, another stack and a half. Nice. All right, well, hopefully this will be enough. We'll be able to produce enough resources until we can get to the actual quarry, the RF Tools quarry. We need, let's see, I think we can make the pickaxe now, but we need to get Elementium, which requires a bit of progress down Britannia, and I'm just not doing that right now. So at some point we'll be able to get the shape card quarry, but until then, this will have to suffice. Look, new ores. I didn't know we could get nether quartz ore. Well, there we go. Weight of 1. Now then, on to today's project. I think we are nearing the end of tier 3, so let's see if we can get there today. We have to make luminescence. So let's see, what tier blood orb does this take? At least a tier 3, right? Which is a tier 3 block of gold. Makes a magician's blood orb. All right. Let's craft some of those. Now you see that this recipe uses 25,000, I believe it was, LP. We can either upgrade our altar with one of these runes, the rune of capacity. One is cheaper than the other. Yeah, so the rune of capacity increases, I think, by 2,000 each, whereas the augmented capacity rune, what is the minimum tier here? Master? And a demonic set. Okay, this increases by percentage. So while you only have a few runes, it's better to use the flat ones. Whereas if you're gonna have a lot of runes, it's better to use the multiplicative ones. Anyways, I'm gonna make a few runes of augmented capacity to increase our blood altar capacity to 20,000. You don't strictly have to do this because the crafting takes a little while, and while it's crafting, you can just poke the mobs. But it's convenient to have a higher altar capacity anyways, and we're going to need it sooner or later. To hurry this process up a little bit, I crafted some speed runes. So if I just replace those 8 with speed runes, I think each one increases crafting speed by, it's either 5% or 10%. But in any event, it just means that the items, ow, don't shoot me. I thought I couldn't get shot from here. Dang it, I thought I fixed that. Whatever. The items that are in there craft faster. So if we look at this, it it drains the blood faster. It uses the same amount of blood, but it does it in less time. Anyways, next up I need to craft tier 2 runes because I need to use reinforced slates to make the Rune of Sacrifice, which increases the amount of blood you get per enemy poked. Right now I only have 28 runes available on my altar, so my plan is to do 10 Sacrifice, 10 Capacity, and 8 Speed. The Rune of Sacrifice increases the amount of LP you get per mob by 10% each, so having 10 of them doubles it. I also looked up the speed runes actually provide a 20% increase in crafting speed each. So having 8 of those increases crafting speed to, 260%? Alright, so all that's left is to make the tier 3 runes. And 10 runes of capacity to round out our tier 3 altar. When we upgrade to tier 4, we'll also, all of these bricks we can replace with functional runes. So the higher the tier of your altar, not only can you craft more things, but you get more functional runes to make crafting a little bit easier on yourself. But now with all of those runes in, we should observe that our altar's capacity has gone up to 30,000. So we can set this threshold much lower. Sure, let's go with like 40%, which will allow it to start crafting as soon as, if the lever's off at when we have more than 40% blood in the altar. But for now, I want to use it to craft those tier 3 blood orbs because those take 25,000 LP. So the altar is a little short of 25,000 now, but I can start the craft and fill it as we go. I made 4 blood orbs this time. We need at least 2. One of them sits in the blood altar and fills our life network, and we need the second one to do crafting, the transmutation. And this is like the tier 3 blood orbs are used in a lot of crafting, so sometimes they just end up sitting in like an auto crafter or somewhere. So I find tier 3 and above, it's good to have a couple spares on hand. Anyways, we can see that blood orb sitting there is filling our life network, which now has 25,000 and counting LP in it, which means we should be able to do this transmutation thing. So how exactly does this work? Hold the blood orb in your offhand and reagent in your right hand. Right click and okay. So this goes in offhand and glowstone. So I guess, can I do a whole stack? 30. Whoopsies, don't do that. That's bad. Give me food. Here. I'll just meat feeder myself. You see the meat feeder keeps my food topped off and lets me heal. Alright, so how much did I have again? Oh, I guess each right click does a single piece. And we're now transmuting the glowstone dust into luminescence at the cost of a little bit of LP. So if I do another 10, that costs about 10,000 LP. It's damaging me because when I right click, I'm just activating the blood orb. Anyways, cool. So that should be that quest completed. I assume, what is this for? Is it a component in that, oh, it's probably just to make the crafting tables? Crystal binder. I don't know. I'm sure we'll need it soon enough. I appear to be stuck with this Hunger 2 slowness or Hunger 3 slowness 2 debuff. No clue how to get rid of it. It doesn't have a duration. It seems to be, at least I think it's refreshing. Although I don't appear to be affected by slowness, do I? This is normal movement speed. So I guess I won't worry about it. Maybe it's a desync between client and server. Next quest, we have to make black iron. This is made, let's see. So this looks, wait, no, uses more resources. I guess this is just a fast way to do it. But we put a hot graphite ingot in a arc furnace or blast furnace. I assume it's just faster in the arc furnace. Let's do that. And our electrodes are almost used up, but we'll replace them when they break, I guess. It looked like, did that say it produced rich slag? It did, nice. Rich slag is useful for making phytogrow, not much else. But anyways, alright, black iron ingots. Another quest down, and now we have to make the crafting table. Oh boy. Here's where luminescence is used. Looks like there's no way to make black iron slates without using 2 ingots either. That's a shame. Anyways, we have to make demon metal as well, which it says you throw gold into lava surrounded with nether bricks on all 4 sides. Definitely one of Extra Utility's quirkier crafting mechanics, but there we go, demon ingots. Alright, here's our tier 2 crafting table, which is a 5x5. There's also tier 3, which is 7x7, and tier 4, which is our lovely 9x9. Cool. So it looks like that unlocks growth essence, which is used to make wither essence, garden cloche, and overgrowth seeds. Sure. Garden cloche is kind of nice, but at the same time, anything I can grow in the garden cloche, I can grow just as fast by using sprinklers. So with how expensive it is, I don't think I'm going to bother. But we are now ready to make industrium alloy. Dun dun dun. What did I need this for then? What in here? I guess I have to do some applied logistics to make the logic processor. Here we go. Crushed charcoal and paper. Okay. Well, we're going to need a lot of charcoal, so I think it's time to fire up the charcoal kiln here again. But now that we have access to endstone, we can, instead of lining the walls with dirt, we can line it with endstone, which will give us more charcoal per wood. I could just like cook the wood in a furnace to make charcoal too, right? But whatever the recipe is, trust me on that. But doing it this way, for each piece of 4 pieces of wood, we can get at least 15 charcoal. So it's like almost 4-to-1 ratio, much better. Anyways, I'm also expand our charcoal kiln a little bit because we're gonna need a lot of charcoal to make that black paper. Hopefully I didn't accidentally leave an air gap somewhere so it all burns, but alright, I think it's making charcoal. So this will probably take a little while, but it should be fine. We have enough charcoal to get us through the immediate future. I've gathered up most of the materials for this industrium alloy, except for the formation cores, and I'm a little bit short on black paper. I'm trying to make, I think, 16 crafts or 48 ingots. I'm out, actually, I did run out of charcoal. Didn't expect to, but I have 15 pieces of charcoal left. So I have to wait for that alloy kiln, or that charcoal kiln to finish. But in the meantime, let's see about making our formation cores. To do so, we need fluix, and let's see, so fluix could just be crushed, right? Yeah, in a pulverizer. Is this made the normal way? Sure, looks like it. And then this requires the various presses, which I think are crafted. Doesn't look too bad. So that's the press for that, the press for silicon. Also doesn't look too bad. All right, and we need an inscriber, which is a lot of steel, but not much else. All right, cool. So I guess let's start by making the inscriber and its presses. I think it's pretty nice that these presses are crafted instead of found out in the world. It means, you know, I don't have to go out in the world to find them. They also don't look like they take that long to make. The thing says 200k RF, so they should be done relatively quickly. This is a limit on how fast the lasers actually beam energy because they're all full. But anyways, I'm just making all 4 types of presses at once. I noticed that there's an added Elementium processor. Has a couple uses, some pretty important ones even. But it crafts using the same, it uses the engineering processor, or the engineering press as well. So there's not a, an additional type of press. Anyways, there's logic, and I need silicon next. Whatever, I'll wait for them all to be done. I don't need a full-blown AE system right now because I don't really have resources for it. So I'm only going to batch craft however many, or some of these processors. For this specifically, I need the gold processor. And that's it. So I guess I'll just make those for now. Maybe I'll make the acceleration cards too, because this is a bit painfully slow. Does it have to be pure? No, it can be any flicks. Yeah, I'll make a couple of these just so that my I'm not waiting for this to process for thousands of days. Even with acceleration cards, I feel like this process is glacially slow. However, there is a mod called Lazy AE2 in the pack. We can't quite, I mean, I guess some of it we can. It has a bunch of its own materials, which are kind of a pain to make. Like, they're really deep nested crafts. I guess the intent is, you automate it with AE2, so nested crafting isn't so bad. But there's a couple cool machines in here. The Fluix aggregator, I think this is, like, you can make the Fluix crystals without having to actually throw stuff in water. But perhaps more interestingly, the pulse centrifuge can make the pure versions without having to like crush it and then mix it with sand and then throw it in water and wait. That's pretty cool. And the circuit etcher can directly put these components together into the circuit without having to go through the intermediate step of having the processor in between. And I'm like, there's a bunch of these other machines. I'm not quite sure what they are. But yeah, this looks like a fun mod. I've never used it before, but I definitely look forward to trying it out. Now that our processors are really starting to finish up now, should be able to make some of these. I need 16. If I can. Oh, once again out of redstone. The repeating theme of this series. If only I wouldn't be so darn lazy and I would do something about it. How much redstone do I have? 64. Is there a better way to process this than get 8 out of the crusher? It's probably about as good as I get breaking out the pickaxe. I don't know why I'm trying to find the super best way to do it. Whatever. Crusher it is. Crush away. Alright, so we're just about at the end of Era 2. Oh, sorry, Era, Era? Tier 3. I feel like I've done something I don't usually do. I've built a lot of, like, manual setups, but I really haven't automated anything. And I think we're getting near the point where that's not going to be a tenable approach anymore. Basically, as recipes get more complicated, it'll be less and less possible for me to do them all by hand. In any event, there are formation cores, so put them in here. Aha! We are getting industrium. Nice. So it's 3 per craft, and I'll make as much as I can. I think I'll run out of that charcoal paper first. But this should be enough to at least, technically speaking, complete the quest. That gives us our coin. Tier 4 is now available, and we can buy the environment controller. I guess I need my other coin. Of course, now I don't think I really need the environment controller because I'm not poking my finger to make blood anymore. But I guess I can use like the large range peaceful module so I don't have to spam these mega torches everywhere. Or not put enough mega torches and have mobs spawning in the background. Whatever. Let's take a look at what exactly Tier 4 is all about. So, it starts with the this chemistry mod. I'm really looking forward to using it, the alchemistry mod. The way it works is that you take like items and then you can dissolve them into like their respective forms, and then you can later recombine them to make new items. So there we go. We can take something like ash, dissolve it into, well, maybe that's a bad recipe. Let me find something a bit better. Okay, so coal we can dissolve into carbon and sulfur, and then later we can take the carbon and combine it, chemical combiner, to make stuff like charcoal, coal, carbon, a bunch of other stuff. So it's like I guess you think of it kind of like, it is a chemistry mod. Doesn't necessarily follow chemistry rules. It follows stoichiometry, but not so much like, how reactions actually happen. Cute way to make diamonds. In any event, I am looking forward to that. But the thing I'm really looking forward to is getting to Terra Steel and then the Elfheim portal, because that allows us to make the Builder Quarry. And really, the Builder Quarry represents the point of having unlimited resources, at which point I think my preferred playstyle really, has a chance to shine, right? I can't really build automation that does everything when I only have a couple hundred iron ingots to work with. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, Jimmy, why don't you just make the agricraft seed for iron? And I could make the agricraft seed for iron and subsequently for redstone and, whatever resource I'm short of. But that's a lot of work, and I personally find agricraft to be the most boring thing in the world. So I don't want to do that. Anyways, our charcoal kiln appears to be done, so let's see how much we get out of it. In fact, it's so much I can't even vein mine it all in one go. Alright, so here's charcoal. 9 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 16 stacks, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31 stacks? I made up 32, 30. Alright, I'm just going to put, I had like almost 0 to begin with, right? So let's just count how much I have at the end. I started with like 16. I basically made over 2,500 charcoal in one go with the kiln. That's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, I guess if I have enough wood piles, I'll start up the next batch. Although I feel like this charcoal will last me a while. Burn, baby, burn. Alrighty, so with that started, let's see what we should do next. Well, we don't have much time left today, so I don't think I want to really get into tier 4 stuff. However, while I was out exploring before, I distinctly recall seeing entrances to what appear to be like, I think they're the road-like dungeons. Never bothered clearing them, but with a little bit of time on our hands today, let me see if I can find one of them again, and let's just see what's inside it for the last couple minutes today. Here's the entrance to one. They're quite plainly evident to see. Nice staircase heading down, and mobs inside. Alright, well, here goes. So at first I started by just vein mining all the, blocks of the walls to get access to these chests. I've already looted them, but then I remembered a trick that someone mentioned in my Discord server earlier today. You take a RF Tool storage scanner, you can use it, give it a little bit of power, set the radius to maximum, scan, and then just tell it, hey, loot the chest for me. And then hit all routable, and look, here are all the items in the nearby chests. Give me the gold, the iron, the diamonds, the coal, that, and the bookmarks. Or the name tags. I don't care for anything else. So just like that, I looted all the chests in the area without having to gain access to them. Pretty neat. Clever idea. Anyways, this type of dungeon I think is actually the less interesting of the two. There's a second type that I was hoping to find, but maybe I'll go look for it a little bit more. They provide a lot of spawners, which are great for both broken spawners, spawner shards, and you can use a spawner changer to change what they spawn. So maybe later I'll come back here just to get more spawners as needed. But let me out. Well, I found another one of these dungeons. I think this dungeon is generated by the Recurrent Complex mod, and yeah, the loot in it sucks. So I'm not even, take what I can. I'm just going to leave. What I'm looking for are the dungeons generated by the Doom-like Dungeons mod. I guess they're meant to be like the dungeons from the Doom, series of games. But unfortunately, I can't find any right now. So, oh well, that might be it then. I'm going to spend a couple minutes more looking, but if I don't find one soon, I might just call it here for today. Well, I wasn't able to find a dungeon entrance, but that's alright. I'm glad I still had a chance to, demonstrate the storage scanner trick. If you have cool, tips and tricks like that, feel free to join my Discord server. I mean, or if you don't, I guess, if you just want to chat, feel free to join my Discord server. Link is down in the description, and, throw me your neat ideas. Anyways, that's it for today. Haha, more iron ore and more redstone ore. Anyways, that's all I got for today. So, we'll come back tomorrow and begin our tier 4 ambitions. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.